Hotspur are now beginning to seriously step up their preparations for success under Thomas Frank. Tottenham have signed Mohamed Kudus from West Ham United and he's already impressed in his pre-season minutes against Reading. Spurs are also trying to sign Morgan Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest, a deal that is being delayed owing to complaints from the City ground. And after qualifying for Champions League football in the season to come, Tottenham's spending is unlikely to stop there. Spurs are interested in Brentford's Yohan Wissa, and now a new Premier League player is high on the shortlist in North London. Tottenham make offer to sign Ilya Zabarnyi from Bournemouth. According to journalist Duncan Castles, who was appearing on the Transfers podcast, Spurs have just tabled a €70 million bid for Bournemouth defender Ilya Zabarnyi. TBR Football recently revealed that Tottenham had been in contact about Zabarnyi, and now Castles believes that Spurs' bid goes beyond the initial fee they paid for Dominic Solanke. Castles explained, Ilya Zabarnyi, who Paris Saint-Germain have been working on a deal for about 6 months in reality, but actively working with Bournemouth for 3 months, I'm told. Their offer for the Ukraine centre-back is €60 million. They believe they should have been able to secure the player at that price, and the player definitely wants to come to them, has agreed personal terms with PSG and is pushing for the move. But Tottenham, one of several Premier League clubs who are unsurprisingly interested in the 22-year-old, one of the quickest centre-backs in the Premier League and almost a perfect attendance record in the Premier League over his 2 seasons at Bournemouth. Guidance from Bournemouth is that Tottenham have offered €70 million for the player, which is owner Bill Foley's asking price, and which would represent a new club record transfer fee for Tottenham, exceeding the initial £55 million with £10 million of variables that they paid Bournemouth for Dominic Solanke last summer. View tweet: if Zabarnyi is to move to Tottenham rather than Paris Saint-Germain, Bournemouth will have to convince the player to give up on the idea of joining the European champions for the Europa League winners in a club who finished well down the English table last season. That, I think, is going to be a difficult task, but let's see how it pans out over the next week or so. Tottenham wanted Ilya Zabarnyi whilst Antonio Conte was in charge. Interestingly, Tottenham were linked with Zabarnyi all the way back in 2022 whilst Antonio Conte was in charge of the club, deploying a 3 centre-back system. Zabarnyi was playing for Dynamo Kyiv at the time, and he's obviously come a long way since, making 86 appearances for Bournemouth in 2 seasons, a player who a former teammate Philip Billing called unbelievable. But were Zabarnyi to arrive under Frank, perhaps he could end up playing in a 3-man system in somewhat similar fashion to what might have been envisioned under Conte. View Instagram post: Christian Romero looks set to stay at Tottenham and there's certainly no doubt over Mickey van de Ven's immediate future. And therefore if Spurs were able to agree a deal with Bournemouth, perhaps that would be with the idea of playing Zabarnyi on the right of Romero, with van de Ven on the left. It's the kind of signing that would give Frank some welcome flexibility at the back. Spurs might end up selling Rodriguezson, which perhaps feeds into this idea, but when you consider that Kevin Danso would also still be around, it could be a very promising scenario for Tottenham.